Hi, in this tutorial I will explain a bit further how to use the cloud functions. In this specific example, I will explain how to import Geofire package, which I tried in the first tutorial. I had some problems with it, and how we, for example, can use it to in our database. For those who are not familiar with Geofire, it's an API that allows us to manipulate and to work with GPS-based queries. It's a very optimized system tailor-made for Firebase to improve all the metrics related to queries based on location and search of positions in a radius and etc. Okay, so it's a very when they incorporated the cloud functions feature in Firebase, one of the things that was of great interest was how to implement heavy, complicated queries on the server side. So the app, the client app, the client itself, the devices wouldn't need to focus too much of its processor system in backend computations. So searching for positions in a query and etc. can be a very useful thing if we want to implement or improve our apps that use location. Okay, so first of all, I will explain how we modify, as I said in the first tutorial, the package.json file to incorporate the packages needed to work with Geofire. To start with, I will add a line called Geofire, and as you can see in the last tutorial, if you see that tutorial, I didn't write it well. It was with the different letters. This time it's right. We will use the upward symbol, and we will put the version, which is 412. Okay, we will save. We'll go to the terminal, which, as you can see, it's not visible. Okay, and we will try again to deploy the function. This example is really fb test project back. Okay, so I will try to deploy the functions again. Okay, let's see. Oh, great, it's not here. I don't remember exactly how it's written, so it's great to know that. It's Firebase deploy functions. Okay, Firebase deploy. Okay, so I will pass that, execute it, and it should deploy it. Okay, now it's taking a while. Okay, great. Now, as mentioned before, even if you change the package.json file, it may throw us an error, because it may tell us that we have to update the repository, download the modules, and etc. We have to be ready to adapt ourselves to any case or any problem that may appear. In that situation, we shouldn't be too worried, because it is fixable. Okay? We just have to wait for the lines to complete. It may even not send us any problem until we don't use the Geofire code in our great, it didn't show any problem, so maybe it may not show up. It shouldn't be any kind of difficulties in implementing the following lines. Okay, so what we will do now is create a small function that uses Geofire. To start off, we will have to import and add the required reference to Geofire. Const Geofire, it's equal to require Geofire. Great. Okay. Perfect. So now we have besides the admin, we can now use the Geofire module in our app. Now we will create, I will create a small, let's see if I can find an example that is not too complicated. Okay, we will create a small functions that each time it receives something, it will create a position. Okay, we'll add into a position of in the Geofire position. It will add the position. Just set location. Let's put a function that allows us to set a location. Export that. Now it comes the name of the function, location equal to functions. I will keep it as an HTTPS for now. On request with its entering variables, request and rest, and we will open and close and add in the end and close and add this. Okay, great. So now let's put it a bit bigger so you can see it a bit better. Okay. So now I will just I can receive a number of variables through the request. I will receive a couple of variables. So let's say latitude and longitude. Okay, and a key. For those who haven't worked with Geofire, you should know that when you are asked to create a position, you have to add a key. Okay? So, what we will do is define a constant called latitude, or lat, which is will be a res.query.lat, and also. Okay? Again, I will copy past. I'm not going to write everything again. These are the three variables that we will receive in the request: longitude and key. Change the name here. Long and key. Okay. The following step is it's mostly JavaScript version of Geofire. For those who haven't work with it, we can look up for more documentation on the examples that there is for Geofire, Firebase, JavaScript functions. Okay, so what we have to define is it's a constant Geofire equals a new. This is to define the reference in the database where we will insert those new positions. Okay, we have to define some place in the database where we can insert new positions. That ref, and now we're telling the Geofire system where in our database we want to insert it. We'll create a small one of the paths, the base of the path will start with geologs, and then that's it. So I'm going to geolocations. Okay, that's it. There, and we can take this out here. Okay. Great. Okay. So now, the following steps will be creating an array. Okay, it's going to be called new location or whatever we want to do. Location equals. It will be built up by latitude and longitude. What we should consider is maybe parsing the latitude and longitude into values which are float based. So here, this is purely parse float. This is purely JavaScript. It's nothing other than that, and also this here. Okay, just in case there is consistency in the numbers. Okay, location is that, and then finally we can call the Geofire reference that we did before and create and set, in this case, with the key that we have sent him, a position. It's called location, which is the name of the variable. And we can put then, which is the response function, and it opens and close, and we can execute, and that's it. What we should send is send a response saying everything okay, or it's ready to, and great, it's added. Okay, so all this that we've just done, we can now execute it from the terminal and deploy the new functions. You will see that you will see that it will try now to deploy these functions. It'll be two. Well, no, now we are seeing some kind of a mistake. Export the location. Sorry. There we go. I forgot the S. Let's do it again. Okay, so now it will export, it will upload both functions, add messages and okay. So the reason it's not working right now, okay, it's because we updated it finally appeared the error that I wanted to show before. We updated the package.json, but we didn't call for the npm install, which will install, that will update the package. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So it should update now the package. As you can see in, well, from the previous one, it uploaded the Geofire. Right now, finally, we shouldn't ever forget to update the pack. When we change the package.json, we have to call npm install to install the new packages that we've just downloaded. So again, I'm gonna call it again, but now this time we won't start install anything. But what's important is this, that we have to do this. So, but what it says too is that it requires a peer of Firebase 2.4.0. One of the things that we don't have in package.json, that's a small problem that I encountered when I tried to use Geofire, is that we have also to import the Firebase. Okay, it's not enough to import the admin and function. We have to import the Firebase itself. Okay, that's something. That's a very important thing that took me a while to find out. And we will import the version again upwards. And sorry, there we go. And 3.8.0 I want to put. Okay. You can put your own version, it's not a problem. The more important thing is to understand we have to also import the Firebase as itself, not only the functions that admin, but the Firebase itself, so Geofire can work correctly. Again, as I said, when we change the package.json, we execute the npm install in the functions folder. Don't forget, in the same folder where is the package.json. As you can see, it's installing absolutely everything, and great. Now it installed the new modules. Remember, I executed it here, okay, in where is the package.json file, not outside of it, because if you do it outside, it won't work. Okay, great. Now I can finally deploy the functions, and it should be recognized by the compilator. Okay, it should compile it correctly. Let's see how it start uploading it. It will upload the add messages, and then it will upload the set location. As you can see, it already uploaded the set location, which is great. It did it really fast. Let's go to the console. We can see how we added another new function. I'm going to refresh, and you will see how we have now two functions. One is called add message, the other is called set location. Set location, we know that has three variables that we asked for. The first one is key equals, let's put it like a key called DHDFD, okay, and lat equals, let's put it as 30, and long equals, let's put it as 50, okay. This is absolutely relative to the situation. There is some kind of an error. We're going to look at it right now. Just give me a second. First of all, let's see if that error didn't affect the change in the database. Okay, so if it was the path was created in the database with the required information with the position, it should exist, a new path should appear with the locations. Sadly, it does not. I'm going to look at it right now. So the problem I had was mainly because I mistaken here the request variable. I used the res. I put here res, and it was request. I mean, at least here. So now I fixed it. Okay, the code didn't change except that. Check that I haven't put this wrong here. Now it's in the right situation. I mean, it's correctly written. And now I'm going to execute that function. I already executed once. I'm going to show you how again it's created. So here we have the 4 different paths, and once I execute this function, it should add me the new location. I'm going to add a location with the key DHJFD, latitude 33.55, longitude 50.96. I execute, and if everything goes well, I should see the new position in a new. As you can see, well, that's the message part. I don't care. Here. For those who are familiar with Geofire, you will see that it complies with the overall structure of Geofire. Now there is a small problem. Let's see, something new. Now it should update the new position. Oh, it's not really updating. Let me upload the new. I forgot to upload the latest version, so let's upload it together. Again, we execute Firebase deploy only function, and it will upload the functions, the add message and the set location. It's important to understand that. Well, what we wanted, it was to add Geofire API into our cloud functions. Was successful. So with that, let's wait for this to finish. Let's hope there is no errors. There may be an error in the parsing or the creation of the location. It is possible. Okay. Problem many times the problem is here in this, because sending double numbers variables through the request not always works well, but it looks like it did. Let's check this out again. And yes, as you can see, it updated to the latest try to take it out so we can do it at the same time, one near the other. So it updated to the latest values for the location. I will show you how it really affects it in real time, because it's the most valuable thing in Firebase. It's the real time, right? So let's say it moved to 35 and 50 and 55 point. Okay. So I execute this. This should be up there. Should be updated. As you can see, it does work fast enough. I mean, it's not bad. The time response is very good. Thing is that sometimes it goes a bit slower than calling this HTTP from the phone. So it's important to just consider that in very specific cases in which we want to use massive queries, we should truly call this kind of methods. Okay, right. So this ends the tutorial. Keep subscribed for more tutorials that will come up in the future. Thank you.